Hey, good morning, TikTok. So, as you know, I am discussing the multiple perpetrator stalker network. This is one of the affiliates. There's hundreds of them. Their program or operation is structured like a Ponzi, a pyramid, an MLM. So, it's like a Tupperware party, You're recruiting all your friends in there and you're going to teach them the game and you're going to try to get them to sell for you so that you can make some commission off of each person you bring into the pyramid or the Ponzi or the MLM. So, these people operate in the same way. It's a whole bunch of them. They are using this as a turnkey business opportunity. They target people and then they basically monetize that person's identity. So they're going to profile the person that they've targeted and they're going to use them to generate content, publishing, and media. So all their content is based on profiling people they've targeted and engulfed into their surveillance, entrapment, entanglement scheme. These people are the perpetrators themselves, but come online and use Darvo to flip the situation so that the unaware audience sees them as a coach or a guru or a podcaster or social influencer. This is a network of people who want to be social influencers, who want to be podcasters, who want to be public figures, and they are using surveillance abuses to generate a false identity. So they don't want you to know that in the background they're eavesdropping on and stalking people in order to profile them or to generate conversation about them and around them and at them. When they say you have enemies and you have opposition, it's them. They're the for-hire group of people. They consider themselves a community. So these people talk to each other. They have a supply chain that sells or distributes their content, like their cards and things, which are often based on the people that they've targeted or the cycles of abuse. When you hear them talking about cycles, they're actually discussing a cycle of abuse. This comes from people like Sam Vaknin, Richard Grannon, Jordan Peterson, and other people that are studying cognitive science or any type of psychological warfare or even theology or even personality disorders. When Sam Vaknin and Richard Grannon coach these people, they're coaching them on narcissistic proxy abuse. So they teach them about the narcissistic abuse cycle so that they can go out and target people and then entrap them in a script of narcissistic abuse. But further to that, they teach them about proxy abuse, which is using their content and their media as the vehicle of abuse itself. So they create a feedback loop by eavesdropping on and stalking people or surveillancing people, taking that surveillance information and converting it into content, memes, and publishing, and then projecting that content or meme at the person they've surveillanced or targeted. So as the targeted person, you feel uneasy and unsettled, but you don't know why or where it's coming from. And this is a form of hybrid warfare. It is fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh generation warfare. And that entails civilians being recruited to engage in subversive action. So you are not meant to know. You are meant to wonder, is it my neighbor? Is it the police? Is it government? Is it the military? You're not supposed to know where the targeting is coming from. So this is professional, it's orchestrated, it's organized, they have a strategy, and they've been executing it on all platforms that can be monetized. And that's because the platforms themselves are engaged with these people. So you have community managers from the platforms that are assisting to build these hives or collective intelligences, as the tech bros would call them, that are using stolen data from surveillance abuses. This helps them build surveillance abuses based algorithms and a conversational circuit. The data in this conversational circuit goes to all their podcasters, their influencers, their chosen public figures, and they use that data or psychometric as a cue or a prompt on what their identity should look like, how they should image curate, how they should perception manage. So all of these people are in the business of image curation, perception management, and narrative warfare. They're running a narrative network or a conversational circuit. And all of it is based on surveillance abuses. These people are the perpetrators themselves, and they are using something called DARVO to flip victim and abuser. Their narrative is changing now because it is a living script. So if their targets are resilient and able to get their head above water, the perpetrators will hop online and pretend through their narrative that they themselves are resilient, fighting the good battle, and are headed above water. Okay? But this is all based on the person that they are targeting and suppressing. They suppress their targets so that they can live out the narrative. It's absolutely insane. But there's hundreds of them. Their networks are pretty big. They're all over the world. They communicate using back channels and other forms of communication. And then they plop up here with one unified narrative and theme. And it is narcissistic abuse that they project on people they target. And then they use DARVO to cloak and hide themselves. They consider this to be magical, but it's not. It's just propaganda. It's just a game of propaganda, dark media arts. And, if you know anything about McLuhan, then you know that these people are screwed and they were super dumb to make a record of it, but they thought that they were so freaking cool and amazing because they're working with people that are wealthy and of status. And it makes them feel good to think that they can sit there and play neener with people. But if you take a look at a lot of these affiliates, you know that they have low self-esteem. You know that they are resentful and envious. You know that they are easily exploited. You know that these people are brainwashed and suffering some sort of cognitive or psychological or spiritual or mental deficiency themselves. They are not leaders of themselves. They are followers. They don't have backbones. The women are all in competition for petty, just basic ass shit. And the men are lames who will sit there and fight with women and target women and go after children. This is their community. This is what they thought was cool. This is what they thought was special. And they sit up here and they gaslight every day. Every day, these people sit and gaslight the public and feel very, very proud of it. They thought they were so freaking cool by being pathological liars, gaslighting the public, targeting people, eavesdropping, and engaging in surveillance abuses for something as simple as freaking content. Like, you couldn't just generate it. You couldn't just talk about your life. You couldn't just talk about your own family. You had to sit there and pretend as if you knew the whole freaking world through surveillance.